the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson recently resigned.
Well, here he is, Nick. Let's see what the Prime Minister has to say.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you. It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister. And I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman.
And behind that resignation, there's been a lot of pressure, a lot of leadership issues. What can we actually, as leaders and as managers, learn from Boris Johnson? Let's talk about it in this video. Hello everyone, welcome to Management Secrets. My name is Cedric and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're watching this video. So on this channel, I'm talking about my experience as a manager, as a leader. I share with you 10 plus years experience of leadership and management. I talk about what's happening on the ground when it comes to leadership and management. There's no theories, no books. So if you really want to know what's happening in the real world of management, if you really want to know what's happening in the real world of leadership, this channel is for you. It doesn't matter. You're a new manager, you're an experienced manager, you are about to be a manager. This channel is for you because here I share with you the real deal. Practical advice that can help you thrive in your career. So if that resonates with you, you want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to activate the notification button so you can be notified every time I release a video like this, so that you can learn, you can grow, learn from my success so you can go faster in your leadership, and also learn from my failure because I share with you my failures as well so you don't make the same mistakes. Today in this video, we're going to talk about Boris Johnson. What are the leadership issues that we can learn from him? What are the things that you as a leader, as a manager, you can learn from Boris Johnson so that you can have your team behind you? Because there's been a lot of issues behind Boris Johnson. He had his own party, his own peers not back him up. We had people, the public, not trust him anymore. So these are all the things I will be talking about in this video. But first, I have an ebook that I've written for you. These are 13 skills that I put together, 13 skills that helped me in my management and my leadership. This is coming from the time I started to be a leader, a manager, to the time now. I put all these skills that I think you need to know if you want to be successful as a leader, as a manager. So go on now, in the description bar of this video, I left for you a link where you can download this free ebook that can help you becoming more successful as a leader and as a manager. So today we talk about Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister. Just for history, Boris Johnson became Prime Minister after the Brexit. The Brexit is when Britain got out of the EU. So the British people decided that they didn't want to be part of the EU anymore after a referendum. We had Theresa May, that was a previous Prime Minister, and she thought she wasn't the right person to take on that responsibility. Boris Johnson said that he was okay, he was the right person to do so, and he was elected as a British Prime Minister. When he started his role, Boris Johnson promised a lot of things. He promised that Britain was investing a lot of money in Europe, and that money could help Britain with our own health system. That's one of the promise. He also said that he was going to make the transition very smooth, and he was going to have a very good deal for the British public. So there's been a lot of promises like this, but throughout his journey, throughout his premiership, there's been a lot of broken promises, which is to say that a lot of things that he said before happened not to be true. So the public started to lose trust in Boris Johnson because he promised a lot but delivered very little. Then after that, what happened was that Boris Johnson also was the kind of person that people liked because he was kind of relatable. He wasn't that prime minister that people knew before. He was very down to earth, a bit of the person that is all over the place. And to be honest, people finding him someone very funny, someone that they could relate to. He wasn't the person that's trying to look smart all the time. He was there to do the job. And I think this is what also made him a bit popular with the British public. He was very outspoken. He spoke his word, not trying to polish whatsoever what he was saying, and this was just major for him. But little did they know that they would have had issues with the promise he made. Like I said earlier, the first thing to me that I think made Boris Johnson resign was the fact that the public lost trust in him. Within his own party, there were also a few things that made him lose the trust of his own party members. So we're talking about his own team members that resigned from time to time. During, I think, his 2 to 3 years as a British Prime Minister, there've been few resignations that were linked to trust. There've been a lot of trust issues. We had a massive resignation, a wave of resignations coming from his own people, the people that were very close to him.
And counting some of his most senior ministers.
Enough is enough.
Today, a devastating resignation speech about political integrity.
During his premiership, there were also issues with consistency. Boris Johnson was a kind of person that would say A today and say B tomorrow. And the icing on the cake for Boris Johnson was just integrity. On this video, we can even see the Queen being alone during the funeral of her husband. She just couldn't have anybody next to her. She respected the law. She respected what was decided. But later on, after further investigation, we discovered that the Prime Minister and some people from his cabinet were having party in the office.
Didn't realise he was at a party. That when the whole country was locked down, he was hosting boozy parties in Downing Street.
And to them and to this House, I offer my heartfelt apologies.
And isn't it insane? Isn't it crazy? They had parties in the office when people were restricted from seeing their own family members from Christmas, were restricted from traveling, everything. And he and his colleagues, or I would say his peers, they had parties in the office. How can you lead people like this? This is a proof that Boris Johnson was lacking integrity. He was the kind of person that is seen as the boss or the leader that says, you do what I say, but you don't do what I do. And as leaders, managers, this is something that we need to learn. We need to have integrity. We need to defend values. If you have a value, you need to defend that value. You cannot say to people to do certain things and you do not represent what you do. You do not lead by example. Leading by example is a great part of leadership nowadays. So throughout Boris Johnson's story, what can we learn? What are the things that we can't do as leaders if you want to be successful today? We need to be consistent. You need to be consistent in whatever things you say. If for any reason you need to change your mind, take the time to explain why you're changing your mind. You need to make people understand why you are changing a decision. Secondly, the things we can learn is that do not overpromise and underdeliver. Like someone else said, it's better to underpromise and overdeliver. This is key. You cannot promise more and do little. Otherwise, people lose trust in you as well. And leadership nowadays is a lot about trust. If you lose people's trust, you are going to lose the influence you have on them and you are not going to be the leader. Next, what can we learn from that is integrity is a value that every leader should have. You should have integrity as a leader. And to have integrity, you need to look into yourself. What are the values that you defend? What are the things that when people see you, they know you're not going to budge on that. They know you have values and you defend those values. Of course, you need to be explaining what those values are. You need to very clear, you need to communicate that to the people that you lead. But they need to know that you stand for some values and they can recognize themselves into those values. There's more things that we can learn from Boris Johnson and his leadership, but I thought let me make this very quick video and so that we can summarize very quickly what are the leadership issues that Boris Johnson faced and that we leaders, we managers need to learn from so we can be better leaders and better managers. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you really enjoyed it, please make sure you give me a thumbs up so that will let me know, that encourage me to start with. And also share this video, subscribe if you haven't done it yet, share the video. I really hope you enjoyed this video and don't go any farther because I got this video as well for you. So go on and watch it. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao.